Welcome back to Wild Drama Stories. Story number 1. Opie writes, thumbnail of what's going on. Wife cheated on me in 2021. Emotional affair, physical affair, online sexting. I found out some of it and made her stop. They broke it off for 8 months. Then he reached out and they started sexting again. I found out again in June 2022. She told me she does not care until I threatened divorce. Then she blocked him. Then she finally admitted to the physical affair. Before she only admitted to sexting. This is all I've learned through years of accidental discoveries, trickle truths, etc. Anyway, the affair partner has a girlfriend who is basically supporting him. She is a medical professional. He is a chronically unemployed barfly. The affair partner kept at my wife, texting, sending pics, far after he started dating his girlfriend, who he says saved his life. For a lot of reasons, I haven't left my wife yet. I don't believe anything she tells me anymore, but she is at least saying some of the right things. We are in couples therapy, although I wouldn't say it's going well. She does seem to finally understand how destroyed I am by this. For the last month or two, I have been filled with rage and a lust for revenge. I feel like I am the only one who had to suffer any consequences from this. My relationship is destroyed, but my wife is fine. She hasn't lost anything. The affair partner is fine, and in fact loves to boast about how enlightened and full of truth and love he is on Facebook. Not trying to paint shop, but that crap drives me nuts. I feel like I am the keeper of this filthy secret, and it's eating me up. I saw my therapist yesterday, and she almost placed me on a 72-hour hold for homicidal ideation. That was a wake-up call for me, that I had to do something to break my cycle of revenge and rage. So, I would like to tell the affair partner's girlfriend about the affair, and I would like your ideas for how to do it. Both the affair partner and the girlfriend live hundreds of miles away. She is a social worker and does counseling for drug and alcohol issues. One idea I had was to book an appointment with her and then tell her, without naming names, that my wife cheated on me and basically relay the story. Then tell her I want to tell the affair partner's girlfriend and ask her if she would want to know if she were the affair partner's girlfriend. If she says yes, I'll tell her the affair partner in the story is your boyfriend, and then just let the drama unfold from there. Obviously, this is a little dramatic, but I feel like being face-to-face would let her know I am serious and give her the opportunity to ask me questions. Alternatively, I have thought about writing a letter to her about it, or just Facebook Messenger her about it. I don't expect her to believe me, but this is eating at my soul. I don't think I'll get closure without it. I am sick of being the only one who has to deal with the consequences of their actions. Thanks, Redditors. I quit drinking thanks to Reddit, and have wrote out various phases of this horrible experience with the help of anonymous Redditors. Thank you. And here's some additional information from Opie. I've been stripped to my emotional core through all of this, and I've come to realize that on some level I will always care for her and be concerned for her. That in no way means I want to spend my day-to-day life dealing with her, but I will never hate her, and I cannot think negatively of her. Like, I can obviously dwell on the bad acts she has done, the cheating, the lies, but I have never said my wife is a B or a C, or anything like what I hear many other men in similar situations say about their wives. And that's because I don't think that about her. I think she has a lot of issues and doesn't respect me and would hurt and use me. But I don't know. I never loved her for the things she did, just for who she was. So in many ways, nothing has changed. I've learned more about her, and she has changed some, but she's still her. When I am with her sometimes and things are well, I can forget what year it is. I can fade back into nostalgia of happier times. But then the phone rings, the spell broken. But someone wiser than myself made a great point that maybe what I fear missing is a friend. And so maybe my love for her is more like that I have for a friend. A friend I've lived with for decades and have 3 kids with. I don't know, it's messy. Some of these guys I see and their bitterness, it's offensive and off-putting to me. Just so much anger and hate. On the other hand, I see its value as a psychological coping mechanism, and I wonder if I wouldn't benefit from some of it in my current situation. And here's OP's update 4 months later. Hello all, I decided I couldn't leave the Update Me people in suspense. I'm fixing to delete my account, but figured I'd post this update to provide some closure, or more likely for your general amusement. So here is what happened. In early April, I sent the affair partner's girlfriend a Facebook Messenger message asking if she was affair partner's girlfriend. No response, but the next day the affair partner blocks me on Facebook. Strange. A week passes and no response from affair partner's significant other. So I sent her a messenger message that basically just broke down that her boyfriend had been having a relationship behind her back with my wife. And if she ever wanted the deeds, just call/email/Facebook me, and I gave her my info. Well, no response at all. A month and a half went by and nothing. I figured she didn't believe me or didn't care. All the while, I and my wife were trying to make it work. Affair partner lives in another town/state, but one we visit in the summer. For whatever reason, I could not keep the fact that I message significant other's affair partner a secret from my wife anymore. I felt like to have reconciliation, I had to be honest. So, in late May, I told my wife what I did. She flipped out on me, threw me out of the house for a while, then left town with the kids. About 2 weeks of freaking out. She is calling divorce lawyers. We are talking about splitting stuff, talking child support and alimony. Divorce seems imminent. The day she is set to come back home, the affair partner's girlfriend sent me a message. Apparently, she just now read my second message and wants to know what's going on. So I call her and tell her everything. Nice lady, pretty upset. After talking to me, she talked to the affair partner. Well, the affair partner messages my wife asking her to call him. What the F is your husband doing and needing my wife to lie for his ass? She doesn't do it, as far as I know, and I believe her because she's a terrible liar. She is. This was a horrible plan, and she's just kind of done with the drama. Nevertheless, she calls me freaking out about how I betrayed her by calling her affair partner's girlfriend. Whatever is my attitude. So another fight and she leaves again for a few days. But when she comes back, she doesn't want a divorce anymore. I think reality caught up to her. Well, that should be the end of my little story. But honestly, the whole lie for me thing and the whole history of being lied to by my wife, and now seeing what a lying piece of crap this guy is, it continues to eat at me. So, as I said, this dude lives in another town state, but one that I visit several times every summer. So I was up there a week or so ago. I know where this guy works and what he drives, but I don't know his schedule or anything. Anyway, I woke up early and went for a drive. As I was coming back, this car is in front of me. I know it to be the make and model of affair partner's car. It turns into the parking lot of the place I know affair partner works. No one else is there. It's early and he's opening the place. Obviously, God/fate is giving me a sign. So I peel into this place and get out of my car and confront him, getting in his face, wanting him to fight me, to provoke him, but he shrunk from the threat. He was like a sack of jelly, a slimy newt. At first he denied everything, even knowing who I am, despite having met me before. He continued to lie, but at some point I told him I know everything. I have screenshots of everything. Guess I'll go back to talking to your girlfriend about it. Then he admitted everything and answers my questions. I asked if I could hit him, or would he call the cops. It depends how hard you hit me. Coward as crap. Lots of looking pathetic, scared and terrified. Lots of, come on man, please leave me alone. I would have loved to beat him to death right there in that parking lot. But his sheer patheticness sort of sucked out my murderous rage. To kill him would be as satisfying as stepping on a bug. Inconsequential. So instead, I berated the crap out of him. I know a lot about his life, so I was able to bring up his various failings and how that fit into his current crappy behavior, how he's a failure and a disappointment to his kids, and soon to his girlfriend. Unprompted, he said, "I'm sorry for what I did." After about 25 minutes of this, I told him I'll be back if I ever hear or see him talking to my wife. And also, does he even know if it's my wife he is texting? I told him I have texted with him pretending to be my wife and took screenshots. That definitely got a look of terror from him. Overall, he looked sad, pathetic, and defeated. So a good day for me, LOL. Oh, and their affair partner, who is Mr. Facebook, deleted his Facebook account. As for my wife, we are trying to make it work, but it's day to day. I didn't tell her I confronted the affair partner. I figure if she finds out, it means they talked, and we are done anyway. She's too reactive to learn this info and not freak out about it. So, there's the update, Reddit. I'm deleting my account here in a day or so, but thank you for reading all the ideas and feedback. Well, OP, I'm glad you were able to step away from that situation in the parking lot. But it sounds like it helped you, that you were able to see that this guy is really nothing special. OP, something that I see repeatedly in these stories where somebody was cheated on is exactly what you're going through. You are the one left dealing with the consequences of their actions. You are the one sitting there with the pain and trying to deal with it every day. And meanwhile, your partner and the affair partner, they're just going on with their lives. And it really is very unfair. It's not right. It's like they don't understand or they don't care about the impact all of this has had on you. Whether or not you decide to stay with your wife and work things out, that is your decision. It does worry me, though, that this isn't the first time that this has happened. And it doesn't seem as though your wife understands really what you've been through. And I don't think that a relationship can be healed, can move on from an affair, unless and until there's some real remorse on the part of the cheating partner. Unless they can understand the pain they have caused you. But once again, OP, it's up to you if you want to keep on trying or if you're going to call it quits. Really wish you the very best of luck, and I hope you never have to go through this again. Story number 2. Opie writes, I, 58 female, have one adult child, 33 female. She is married and they just had their first baby 4 weeks ago. Both she and her husband work full-time, and she will be going back to work after maternity leave. They live in a house owned by her husband's mother. They pay rent to the mother and she lives out of state. There is no contract or rental agreement for the house, just verbal agreement. Earlier this week, they got a call from his brother on his mother's behalf, saying the mother is selling the house to another relative for a cash deal. They will likely close in August, and they are allowing my daughter and her family to stay in the house for 5 months so they can find someplace else. My daughter believes she won't be able to find a rental because they have 2 pit bull mixed dogs. No one takes pit bulls. She has now decided their only option is to buy a house, but their credit scores are not good enough to get financing. I have a pristine credit, high 700, almost 800. She is begging me to co-sign a mortgage with her. Here's my deal. I am single, getting ready to retire in 2.5 years, and I am comfortable. I don't own a house because I don't want to. I am fully aware that co-signing means I will be responsible if she defaults. This has also messed up the plans that she and I had of moving south with her family once I retire. If I buy a house now, I doubt I'd be able to sell it in less than 3 years' time. Am I the a-hole if I say no? And here's Opie's update. They came to talk to me. Their credit is so bad they can't be on the loan at all. It would be me buying a house for them to live in. She is convinced she can turn their credit around before I retire and they will assume the loan. I told them no. I feel like crap. They have a newborn and I don't want to strain our relationship, but I want to retire and be comfortable. Update 2. She called me about an hour after they left and said her father has agreed to buy a house for them with the same plan of assuming it in a couple of years. Earlier she told me her father would not help. I assume she told him I wouldn't help and told me he wouldn't help. I made the right choice to say no. Update 3. I talked to her father. He did not say he would buy her a house. He told her to look for a rental, and if they can't help, he would help. He also said he would take the dogs if they can't have them in a rental. My daughter heard what she wanted to hear, and that was, "Yes, honey, Daddy will buy you a house." This is why I think she's playing her father and I against each other. Well, OP, you did the right thing saying no to your daughter, because you have to think about your own financial security and you are on the brink of retiring. If you were planning on buying property as an investment before all of this happened, then I could see this being of some benefit to you as well, but that's not the case. OP, you cannot risk your financial security for your 33-year-old daughter and her husband. They have time to turn around their bad credit, but I don't think, OP, it will happen before you retire, and it's just too much of a risk for you. And I'm sorry that you feel bad, as you say, you feel like crap for saying no, but really you have nothing to feel bad about, OP. I know that if you had millions, you would do this for them. You would see it as an investment and also as a way of helping your daughter and your grandchild. But once again, that's not the case. You have to be realistic, OP, and you have to think about yourself. And I hope your daughter and her husband understand that. I'm sure she will find a rental eventually. Well, that's it for this edition of Wow Drama Stories. Thank you for joining me. It was good to see you again. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll see you again next time. Take care of yourself. Bye.